Hello. I knew you were going to call me up here because that conversation you just had segues into exactly what I was going to talk about.
Nice how that works out.
February 8th is the date on this. This was an email that I got from you, from the daily quotes. I'm sorry, I feel like I'm really loud. And this email propelled me into a completely different paradigm of my belief of how we exist and everything that you just said, which was related to dreams and how dreams are so real to us. When we're in our dreams, we come into our dreams sometimes with an entire backstory, and we have relationships with people, and they're deep relationships. They mean so much, and for me, many times I wake up and I forget my dreams if I haven't written them down, and then I realize, or if I do remember it, I realize how in depth it was, and
what a good indicator it is of your vibrational point of attraction.
Right.
Because your dream, like your what you call real life reality, is also your creation. So what you're thinking and feeling and living is always a match, and what you're thinking and feeling and dreaming is always a match.
Right.
Nice to know.
And I just, as part of this, that I spent the whole next day after I received this email, it just propelled me into the vortex, and I started, and I was there the whole day, and I was just loving it and feeling really good about it. And the next day I got an email that said that I was going to participate in the beta testing for the broadcast, the live stream broadcasts, and it made me feel so special and just it was just so powerful, and that was really cool. And then it worked out great because it was like the next day or something. It was that Saturday, and so I participated in that. And then that continued, and 2 weeks later I was able to continue with the next, and that was really wonderful. That was a fabulous experience because we had the chat group on the side, and they were all from different countries, and that just amazed me, that whole experience of being.
She's talking about a upcoming live broadcast where a seminar like this will be streamed out to the world. And they've accomplished it twice and streamed it out to nearly every continent, all but one. And it seems to be seamless and ready to go. So
yes,
the seminars will be being streamed out.
Yes, the second time we did it, it was flawless. It just worked perfectly, and it was so smooth, and we got to do surveys of how it worked and participate in it, and it was just the impact of looking at knowing that you were live with Abraham online, seeing this, but at the same time somebody was in the middle of the night in Malaysia or Australia or something. It just gripped me, and
as Jerry was talking with us about it, he wondered about this global broadcast because it is uncertain who will be interested or how many will want to play the game. And Jerry was focused upon the moral of his story, always relative to these seminars, is the comfort and well-being of the participants. And so his first question was, well, how will someone out there in cyberland participate? And we explained to him that in a room like this, that you are participating with your thoughts. You are participating with the thoughts that are moving through your mind. You're participating through your thoughts that are then represented by your emotions. There is much more vibrational participation that happens in a room like this than what takes place verbally. Much more is happening vibrationally.
Right.
And it does not matter where in this universe, this planet or otherwise, it does not matter where in this universe you are still participating vibrationally, you see. So when you tune into the frequency and are participating, then we are all co-creating. And that's what you were feeling. You were feeling the at oneness. You didn't have to be in the room. Yes. So read your email.
Okay.
Everyone is wondering.
If I can see it. Okay. Make fun of death. We are as dead as it gets. And we are fully aware of this joyous experience. We are with you every time you allow it. I don't have my glasses on, so we are in every singing bird and in every joyful child. We are part of every delicious pulsing in your environment. We are not dead, and neither will you ever be. You will just get up one day and get out of the movie. And to me, in all the things that I experience in my life, with my children, with my husband, with my life and everything, I realized that, one of the things that I believe that we fear from death, croaking, is the leaving behind of the people. And I have experienced the death of both of my parents in the last couple of years.
Do you know what the greater concern is from most people? Of course, that's part of it, but it's the losing track of who you are. That's what most people worry about. They worry that they will lose the sense of who they are.
Right.
When the reality of it is, you don't lose the sense of who you are. You gain complete understanding of who you are.
Right.
There's no feeling of loss whatsoever in what you call the death experience and in what we call the croaking experience.
Croaking, yes. That was the paradigm shift that I had, which was that, and I wrote it down, that we do not, my perception before was that when we die, we leave this and go somewhere, when I saw it from a different angle, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to say it.
Well, here's what it is. This is what you're sensing. It's the perspective thing that we were talking about earlier with Jerry and Esther and the binoculars. It's that you are always source energy, and the inner being part of you is forever interested in what's going on here. So when you withdraw from your physical body and are no longer looking through these physical eyes and this physical personality, you will reemerge into the wholeness of who you are, but you'll still be watching, you'll still be involved. That's the reason that the global broadcast was so interesting to you and such an important part of this conversation. You don't have to be in the room in order to be part of the creation of what's going on. And you are eternally part of this creation. The only difference worth even mentioning between you as you've reemerged and are in the fullness of who you are and you who is in a physical body is that in your physical body you may from time to time pinch yourself off from the wholeness, from the bigness, from the good feelingness, from the love, from the worthiness, from the joyousness of this co-creative experience. That's the only difference. You see, and we promise you're not going to miss those Henri moments, you see.
Right.
And when you reemerge into the non-physical, even those people that you knew were Henri, you might have even been outside the vortex having Henri experiences with them, you will still know them, you will still reflect on them, you will still have influence with them, you will still be co-creating with them, but on an entirely, in other words, when you're in the vortex, it doesn't matter where anyone else is, you can still observe them joyously. And that is really what we wish for you while you are remaining in your physical bodies, that you could be so consistently in the vortex that those who aren't in don't bother you enough to bring you out. In other words, you don't get on a mission of saving them. You're just like your inner being, able to observe them in the step oneness of their moment and appreciate that for what it is. In the same way that when your little one is learning to walk and falls down, you don't say, "Get up, you little dummy." It doesn't upset you. On the airplane coming over, Jerry and Esther were in the front of the airplane in a big, lovely first-class cabin with many others, and there was a little boy who wanted to run free and was not allowed to quite a bit. And in every moment that he was not allowed to run free, he was protesting vociferously at the top of his screaming pitch. It was really an interesting thing, and most everyone on the airplane was just withdrawing into hatred. And Jerry and Esther had their earphones on, and Esther just turned the volume up on the meditation CD and listened to it and went right to sleep. And as they were getting off the plane, now the little boy is sound asleep in his mother's arms. And Esther said she better protect him because most everyone on this airplane is ready to pinch him to wake him up. But the reason that we're offering this is that from inside the vortex, even something that close and that unpleasant is not annoying. But there are many things that can drag you out of the vortex, and then from outside the vortex it feels like you need to do something about it. And the death experience is just such an in the vortex experience that there is no suffering that you witness from inside the vortex that takes you out, but instead an understanding of it for what it really is, you see. Suffering is a physical, and for the most part, a physical human experience.